Hi guys, welcome back. In part 1, we followed the conduction pathway through the heart, from the SA node to the AV node, down the His-Purkinje system, and into the ventricles. In this video, we're going to zoom in on the cells that start the entire process, the pacemaker cells of the SA node. These cells generate the heartbeat on their own, without any external stimulus. And they do it through a very unique type of action potential called the pacemaker potential. Pacemaker cells are very different from regular cardiac muscle cells. They don't sit at a stable resting membrane potential. Instead, once they repolarize to about minus 60 millivolts, they immediately begin drifting upward again toward threshold. This constant drift is what makes the SA node automatic. We begin with phase 4, the spontaneous depolarization phase. At minus 60 millivolts, special channels open called funny channels, or IF channels. Despite the name, they're incredibly important. They allow sodium to leak slowly into the cell, causing a gradual depolarization. As the membrane creeps upward, a second channel type activates, the T-type calcium channels. These open briefly and help the membrane reach threshold. Together, the funny current and the T-type calcium channels act like the ignition and low gear of a car. Slow, steady, and automatic, gradually getting the heart ready to fire. Once the membrane reaches its threshold, around minus 40 millivolts, L-type calcium channels open. These calcium channels create the upstroke, or phase 0. Pacemaker cells do not use fast sodium channels for their depolarization. Using calcium instead gives a slower, smoother rise, like shifting into high gear after the low gear start. Perfect for controlling heart rhythm rather than rapid contraction. After a brief delay, potassium channels open. Potassium leaves the cell, bringing the membrane potential back down. This is phase 3, the repolarization phase. Once the cell returns to around minus 60 millivolts, the funny channels open again, and the entire cycle repeats. That's what makes the SA node fire rhythmically without needing a signal from anywhere else. So this is the SA node firing, the source of the pacemaker potential we see on the graph. The inward currents we just described originate from this cell. To summarize the pacemaker action potential, phase 4 is the slow, spontaneous depolarization driven by the funny current and the T-type calcium channels. Phase 0 is the calcium-driven upstroke through L-type calcium channels. Phase 3 is potassium-driven repolarization that resets the cycle. This pattern is very different from the action potential in a regular cardiac muscle cell. Pacemaker cells fire automatically without a stable resting potential, and their depolarization depends on calcium. Ventricular myocytes, by contrast, sit at a stable resting potential near 90 millivolts. They require a depolarizing current from a neighboring cell before they can fire. They also use fast sodium channels for a rapid upstroke and have a long plateau phase that pacemaker cells lack. We'll explore that fast response action potential in detail in part 3. Thanks for watching part 2 of the electrical activity of the heart. In the next video, we'll break down the action potential of a regular ventricular myocyte and see how it leads to coordinated forceful contraction. See you there.